Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. It's better than Quidditch. On today's show, we have Tanya Wright, Daniel Ethridge, and Whitney Stevens. You're going to learn a lot, so stay tuned.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we are here with Miss Tanya Wright. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, you are the person, are you in charge of the cosmetology program?
I am. I'm the cosmetology instructor and program coordinator.
Okay. And we were talking earlier, you have been doing this for 19 years.
Yes, at MCC, 19 years.
Okay. And previously you had a few years elsewhere.
Correct.
Okay. So you basically have designed this program and set it up and all of that.
Yes.
All been you.
It all has been me because we started out one way and then we've had to make some changes over the years, and so it's now designed in a way to be able to serve more students.
Okay. And this is a one-year certification program.
Correct.
So they just go for the 1 year, they get their certificate, and what are they able to do with that certificate?
After they graduate, they have to do their boards in Jackson with State Board, and
Okay.
they have to do a written exam and a practical exam.
Okay.
And then once they meet those requirements, then they are licensed cosmetologists and they can start working in a salon.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. It's for 1 year, and you can then get in and
Correct.
work in a salon once you pass your board.
Once you pass your boards. They can work on a permit for 90 days, but they need to take their boards in between that time so they can work on a license.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, when they take their boards, does every state have boards? Or
Yes.
do they, so it's not like a national something that they can do? They have to, like if they decided to move somewhere?
Then they would have to reapply. They would have to apply for reciprocity.
Okay.
And then that state that they move to will determine what they need to do at that point.
Okay. Now, for a student to get into your program, are there any prerequisites that they have to complete first?
They do not have to take prerequisites, but they do have to take the ACT or the Accuplacer.
Okay.
ACT with a composite score of 14 and an individual score in math and reading of 14 as well.
Okay.
Then they have to, or if they don't want to take that, then they can take the Accuplacer with a score of 245 in reading and math.
Okay. Now, do they have to have a high school diploma or
They
equivalency?
do. They have to have a high school diploma or the official scores and diploma from the GED. They also, if they do not have a diploma they can show us from high school, then I'll need official transcripts from their high school.
Okay. Now, how many students do you accept every year? You said do you only accept in the fall or
I
fall,
accept in the
spring?
fall and the spring.
Okay.
We can hold 40 students.
Okay.
But depending on how many are graduating in a semester will determine how many I can take the following semester.
Okay.
So right now I have almost at full capacity, and I have some graduating, so right now we're looking at about 11 to 12 to fill spots.
Does it become difficult if you have some students starting in fall, so they've got that 1 year with the fall and then others starting in spring?
Well,
in
in
that 1 year?
the fall graduation, like when they start in August, they will graduate the following August, and the the students starting in January will graduate in December.
Okay.
And then they'll just go, they start on a rotation. So my students that start in August will start on a portion of the book, and in January, those students will move on and the new students will pick up right there. And then they will circle around back to where the August group started. So they all have to go through the whole entire book in their year.
And they will have to go during the summer as well?
They do have to go through the summer,
Okay.
yes.
Now, so when if you've got a student who doesn't really know what he or she wants to do, how do you kind of know that they would make a good cosmetology student?
Well, I like to have
Cosmetologist.
them in my office and sit down and talk to them, ask them some questions, ask them what they're interested in, what their goals are when they get out of school, you know, what their likes and dislikes are. Because a lot of times you can get a feel for if this is where they want to be or need to be, or if they need to be somewhere else. You can kind of determine it that way.
Okay. Now, I know that in your program you do a lot of hands-on
Correct.
stuff. When exactly do they kind of start the hands-on? It's like you first kind of start out with the books
Right.
stuff, right? Am I correct in this?
Well, they do books all year long, the
Okay.
whole time they're in school,
Right.
because they have to have a certain amount of theory hours
Right.
to
And
graduate.
I know some of your students are coming to the Success Center
Yes.
and doing their book
That's
work.
right. But then the freshmen, when they start, they have to work on the mannequins for 240 hours, which
Okay.
equals out to be about 8 weeks.
Okay.
Then they can move to the floor and work on clients. So
Okay.
at that point, they'll work on book work, mannequin work, and clients. And we take clients on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, on Wednesdays and Thursdays you take clients, and do you charge them?
We do charge them a fee. Most items start at $5, and then it just goes up from there depending on their service that they're getting, and it's cash only.
Okay, do you do most anything that they could get done in a hair salon?
They
When
do.
they-
We do haircuts, roller sets, blow dries, flat irons, certain types of braids. We do manicures, pedicures, facials, relaxers, color. That's pretty much it. I mean,
Okay.
curling irons, some up styles. We will put makeup on as long as the person brings their makeup, because we don't have enough makeup that would match everyone's skin.
Okay. Well, if someone is interested in booking an appointment with y'all, how would they go about doing it?
They can call the front desk and ask for Miss Mosley, and her number is 601-484-8867.
Okay. Now, when they complete the certificate and they pass their boards, are there jobs out there for
Yes,
them?
there are plenty of jobs. You just need to get out there and kind of look around at the salons and see which salon best fits your personality.
Okay.
But we have lots of choices in Meridian area.
But they wouldn't be necessarily ready to go out and open their own place.
We do have some that do that because they want to be their own boss, but I recommend everyone working with someone first, just to get their feet wet, just see the do's and don'ts and things they may want to do on their own or not do on their own.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being with us today, and I
You're
want to have you
welcome.
on again
Okay.
to talk about this further.
All right.
All right? We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
And we are here with the wonderful Mr. Daniel Ethridge. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
You always say that. Every time I ask you, you're like, I'm so good. Everything is so good.
Yeah.
Now, you are in charge of our, and the name just escaped me.
That was okay.
What's the name of your program?
The graphic design. Yes.
Oh okay. I'm to the point now where names escape me, words escape me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's a sadness. It's just such a sadness. But you have been doing that for how many years now?
We're going on now 10 years,
Oh my
almost.
God.
I think first year will be 10 years. So.
And you started out doing something quite different.
Yes.
Here.
Yes, I used to be the webmaster here, like back in 1998 or 1999.
When the web was this big.
This big, yes. But I used to build a website and work on graphic design projects and work with the promotions team, amazing group of people, and Ray Denton and
Yes,
all those
yes,
guys,
all
Mr.
of
Billy
them.
Build.
Now, you are literally, you are one of the most talented people I know. And he truly is one of the most talented. But something's coming on the horizon. Something's
Yes.
coming up soon.
Yes.
What is it?
Next Thursday, October the 27th, from 4 to 5:30 p.m., we're going to have the opening of my first solo show here on campus, and I'm super excited.
Nervous?
Yes, just a little bit, slightly.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And what type of exhibits are we going to be looking at?
It's going to be a collection of my art that I've been working on for the last year or two, and there's going to be probably 30 pieces there, all oil paintings, ceramics, a tiny bit of stained glass and graphic design work, pottery, and
You are one of the most eclectic artists I know. I mean, you use almost any medium.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
and you have, yeah, and translate all of that into your graphic design program as well.
That's right.
Well, what prompted you for your own show?
Well, I've gotten recently into augmented reality, which is like a really big thing in the art world and
Okay.
in graphic design. But I've decided to mix the two together, art and augmented reality, which is more of a digital form of art. So when a person comes to the show next Thursday, they need to bring their phone, and they're going to be able to make the pieces, the art pieces, come to life.
Really?
So it's going to be augmented reality here on campus. So it's going to be quite amazing.
And so this is
Yes.
open to anybody, right?
Yes, we want everyone to come, everyone from the public. We want to fill up the gallery with people, and we want everybody using their phone and experiencing the augmented reality. There'll be a QR code there. You'll scan it. It'll prompt you to look at the artwork with your phone. You do, and then the artwork will come to life in some way. And there's some surprises, so it's going to be fun.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yes.
So this is going to be October when again?
27th,
October 27th from 4 to 5:30.
5:30. We'll have refreshments, food. I believe we might have a cake.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Okay. How long did it take you to get all of these pieces together?
I've just been night and day. It's just, it's just like wake up, do some art, go to sleep. Wake up, do some more art, go to sleep. It's kind of like that thing. You just have to eat, live, and breathe it. And that's just fun.
Do you find yourself with long period, like where you'll work in one medium and then you kind of transition into another medium, or do you find yourself all the time just in all different kinds of mediums?
Well, I think it's more of an obsession. Like I become obsessed with stained glass, or I become obsessed with pottery, or I be obsessed back to oil painting or watercolor, or I just kind of go between them all in sort of like however. And that's the thing about being an artist is you have so many options and there's so many mediums to work in, and you just want to keep grabbing onto the next thing and growing and keep developing. And that's really what's key for me, and that's what drives me is to be able to do, discover some new form of art or some different way to do things. It's really exciting. So,
You have also been painting murals.
yes,
You've been doing that for a little bit now,
yes,
and that's for the city of Meridian.
right.
Right.
And we're starting here on campus. We're starting on murals here on campus, and the students' designs, the graphic design students, we're painting their designs. But I have been working with the city of Meridian, the Meridian Museum of Art Collective. I work with about 4 or 5 artists in that group, and we do everything. We do
They
build.
are absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you. I
They're
appreciate
absolutely
it.
amazing. I've already told him that when we get into the new Student Success Center, that
Yes.
I did not give him a choice in this. It's like,
It's quite
you
all right.
will be painting murals for us.
Sure.
I don't, you will be doing that. But now, your students, do you find that it's good with graphic design to have a background in art?
Well, it does help, but it's not necessarily. We take a person where they are, and we want to help them grow into what they want to do in whatever direction they want to go in. If they're specifically interested in designing for print media or digital media, or even game design or anything like that, we do cover all of those aspects of the graphic design and art world. So, we have a little bit something for everybody. So,
When you were the webmaster here 40 million years ago, were you also into all of this art at the time, or have you?
yeah, well, yes, definitely. It's one of those things where I've been building and growing. It's one of those things where it kind of comes in spurts sometimes. I will have a piece in this show that I actually designed like 15 years ago. So it's one of my first big paintings that I ever did. It will be featured in the show. So it's a process.
Are you ever 100% satisfied with a work?
Never.
Because I write sometimes.
Right.
And there's sometimes when I'll go back and I'll read something, I'm like, and I think I could improve it.
That's the thing. As an artist, you're your own worst critic. Someone may say, "Oh, it's amazing. You couldn't be any more perfect," but you're sitting there going, "Oh, there's that one little flaw. Or there's that one little thing I would change." Right? So I understand that. Yeah.
Have you ever found a medium that you just it didn't fit you?
Well, no, because it's one of those things where you make it your own,
Okay.
and you have to. Otherwise, you'll just be floundering.
I wish I had just half an artistic bone in my body.
You're very
I do
artistic.
not. It's unfortunate, but I do not. But you have always, every time I've noticed you, you've been so gifted with art, and you're so, it's such a part of your life.
Yeah.
What would you do if you didn't have art in your life?
Oh, I couldn't exist. I don't know. It is like a major part of my life, and I really believe that it makes me who I am in a lot of ways. And I think as an artist, that's what you do, because you know it makes you who you are, really, in a way. I mean, it kind of helps, you know. But it's sort of the way you process life, the way you process things. You want parts of your life to go into your art, and that's what makes it unique, I think. You know, because anybody can draw an apple, but you know, if you draw it the way you draw it, or the way that you've seen life, you know, it's unique to yourself. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Daniel Ethridge exhibit will be October 27th
Yes.
from 4 to 5:30. And
Yes.
where will it be again?
It's in the Davidson Fine Arts Building in the Castile Miller Gallery. And,
Okay.
and we'll be waiting to see
Open to the
you.
public?
Yes.
Come on down
Yes.
and look at these pieces. Bring your phone.
Bring your phone or iPad and have a wonderful experience, because it's going to be fun.
Thank you, Daniel. I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Whitney Stevens. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing well. Now, you are the newly installed Director Most High of Financial Aid, right?
Yes. I love that title. Maybe we can redo this name
I'm
badge.
telling you. Have they moved your office? Are you still
I'm
in the same
still in the
office?
same office.
Okay.
I'm still in the same office. Very excited to still be in that same office. I feel like that it will allow me to better serve the students. I'll be closest to the floor and be able to just kind of jump out there and help out like I always have. So.
And you do. Every time I go over there, you know, I mean, and it's because all of you, I think you know, and it's like with the Success Center. We know we're in this together.
Right.
We're
Right.
in this
It's
together.
all hands on deck.
So it's all hands on deck. But you have now been director for how long?
For about 3 months now. So July the 1st was my first official day. So
When you first started here, how many years ago? was
9
that?
years ago.
Okay, when you first started here, did you ever think you'd be director?
Never thought twice about it.
First off, did you ever think you'd you'd
I
be
did
here
not.
that long?
I did not.
That's how I was.
Yep.
I'm
That's
like,
how I was.
I'm going to be at MCC a year or two, then I'm going somewhere else.
Right.
And
But
it just-
I got here and just fell in love. I can't go anywhere.
I know.
So
It truly is family.
It truly is.
Now, with financial aid, one of the biggest things that we have, the Pell Grant, okay, and which is very important, and it helps so many people get be able to get their education. But to do that, you have to fill out the FAFSA.
Yes, you have to fill out the FAFSA for this aid year, which is this fall, next spring, and next summer.
Okay.
Our students need to fill out the 22-23 FAFSA. It will ask for 2020 tax information. You'll need an FSA ID. If you're a dependent student, you'll also need that information for your parents. Fill it out. If you're a first-time user, we tell people to normally expect to carve out about an hour just to kind of set up the FSA IDs and navigate the website
But
and
once
get
you
it
do
completed.
it one time, the next times are much
The
easier.
next times are much easier. We always tell students to be sure to keep up with their FSA ID every year, because that is what you'll need for your electronic signature. So as long as you keep up with that and you don't have to try to retrieve that again, it normally doesn't take but about 20 minutes at the most. And we've had students to complete it in less time than that.
Now, when you need your parents' information, okay, how old is it? Just like for 18 and under, or not 18 and under, but like 19, 20?
If for needs your parents' information, it asks if you have been born before a certain date every year. So normally that threshold falls around the age of 23, 24.
Okay.
So for the 22, 23 FAFSA, in order for you to no longer need your parent information, you need to be born before January the 1st of 1999.
Is there any way if someone comes in and they're 21 years old and they're like, I haven't been lived with my parents for a while, I don't depend on them at all, do they still have to have their parents' information?
Yes, Department of Education still requires that they have their parent information even if they have moved out, secured a job of their own, filed taxes of their own. If they do not meet those other qualifications of like being married, an orphan, ward of the court, those particular and some other dependency questions, if they do not meet that criteria, then yes, they are still required to use parental information until they reach that birthday threshold.
Okay. Now, it can seem so daunting anytime you're having to fill stuff out.
Right.
Do y'all ever offer like sessions where you help students? I know you help students all the time, but are there anything where you're like, okay, just come by and bring your information and we'll help you go through it?
Yes, we actually do that every day. Some people would like to make an appointment, but an appointment is not required.
Okay.
If you're just driving down the road and you get that itch to where you want to stop by and see us, you come on in. And even if you don't have all of your information with you, you can at least come by and we can give you a sheet to let you know what you need, and we can kind of get you started. And most of the time, if we're able to get a student and parent started on it, they're able to complete the rest of it at home. So even if you just don't have all of your information with you that day, still don't let that deter you. Still come by and see us. An appointment is not required. Like I said, we just ask that you kind of just carve out that time just so we can have enough time to get everything done before the close of business. And then we'll be there to help you. And if you want to call and set up an appointment, you can feel free to do that as well. We're here all year long, with the exception of the breaks, but summer, we're here.
Yes.
We're fully open, full operation. So we encourage anyone to come by and we'll help them.
And even students who are incoming freshmen and they have the tuition guarantee, they still have to fill out
Correct.
the FAFSA.
Yes, they still have to fill out the FAFSA application as well as the state aid application, which is affectionately known as MTAG.
Right.
So those two applications are required as well as their actual tuition guarantee contract online.
Because the tuition guarantee does not mean free money.
Right.
It does not mean, what it means is you still have to do these things, and if you're covered, then you will get that money from the federal government or the state.
Or the state
if
aid.
not, then MCC will cover your tuition costs.
That tuition cost.
Okay, so there's nothing free about it.
Right. There's some work into it, but it's all worthwhile.
Oh, definitely
Truly
speaking, you
is.
could get 4 semesters.
Truly.
And interestingly enough, though, within our community, many people are eligible for Pell Grants.
Right. We always tell people we never want you to make the assumption that you're not eligible for it. You bring that information in, let's help you put it into the computer. Once they get it processed and we get the completed FAFSA back on file, then we'll know more. So don't just necessarily assume I make X amount of money, so I'm not eligible, because it takes into account a lot more things than that.
Right.
So we always encourage everyone to fill it out. Don't tell yourself no. Do not do that.
Right. Well, we are into the just beginning our second 8-week semester, our second part of our semester, and new classes are available. Students can sign up for those. We have 4-week classes that are available, and all of those students can use their Pell Grant.
Yes. So it is not too late. If you just started those Term 2 classes this week, it's not too late to apply for financial aid for this semester. Please go ahead, get it filled out online, come by and see us, call us. If we can try our best to help you over the phone, we can definitely do that as well.
Okay.
So it's not too late to apply for that, and that would be the 22-23 FAFSA, and that would do the rest of this fall, next spring, and next summer.
Now, there used to be where they would say that you could not use Pell Grants for the summer classes.
Right.
But we can.
We can use that now. So there are some eligibility requirements that if you've been full-time in both the fall and the spring, then you do have to be in at least 6 hours for the summer. And we can review all of that information as well. So yes, it used to be, especially when I first came, you couldn't use Pell Grant in the summertime, especially if you had been enrolled full-time in the fall and spring, but now you can. So they're making strides and understanding
Sure.
that students' lives are changing, and we're trying to help them change their lives as best as we can.
And don't let your fear of a little bit of paperwork
Right.
prevent you
Right.
from doing this,
Right.
because it's very important for you.
It's very
important
important.
for your children.
Very important.
Listen, thank you so much for
Thank
being here.
you.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
On behalf of executive producers Matt Milner and Tanisha Clark, media specialist Josh Taylor, and student producer Jordan Nix, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next week.